Week 12 NFL football was literally the best week of football I think we've gotten all year. This was the best week. Yes, I'm a little biased, but you can't deny there were so many banger games. I hope you guys are having an awesome Monday. Let's get right into this recap. Okay, I got to start with the New York Giants at Detroit Lions. In my head, this game was going to be a cakewalk. They weren't even starting Jackson Dart. They went with Jameis Winston. They don't have half their team. They don't have Malik Neighbors. They don't have Cam Scadaboo. And they were 2-8 going into this game. And I take a look at the score. I get out of church. I take a look at the score. 27-17. We're getting kind of clapped. It looks like we're going to lose. Well, Jahmyr Gibbs ends this game with 55.4 fantasy points. The most fantasy points by a single player this entire year. 264 total yards and 3 touchdowns. He was unbelievably good. And then obviously the biggest play of the entire game, this was our first play of overtime. Lions-Giants goes into overtime. First play of overtime, Jahmyr Gibbs, house call. I cannot stress how impressively fast this is, or maybe just how unfortunate this is for the safety. But look at this. You would think that the safety would have a chance with this much additional space and taking a solid pursuit angle, and he can't get him. He can't get him at all. It's actually crazy how fast Jahmyr was in this game. But let's okay, the reality of this game, if I'm being honest and I'm not being a biased Lions fan, this is so embarrassing for us. It should never have been this close, and it makes me worried for the playoffs because why is the Jameis Winston Giants hanging 27 on us? Why do we have to go into overtime? Why do we need a miracle to win this game? Genuinely scared me. Can't talk about this game without mentioning this. This was unbelievable. They run a fake handoff play action flea flicker to Gunnar Olszewski, who, by the way, steps up in the pocket like a true quarterback, reloads, throws to a wobbler to a covered Jameis. What they teach you on these plays is, oh, by the way, if he's not butt naked wide open like he's supposed to be, don't throw it. Because we don't trust our quarterback to moss a defensive NFL linebacker or corner safety. Well, guess what? Somehow he kind of cooks him. Somehow he gets separation, but that's not enough. That's not enough to do to my boy Barnes. He's going to break the fucking tackle and go in the end zone and then do and then jelly the fucking football. Are you kidding me? You know what I hate to admit? I want to be a fan of my team and everything, but I've glazed Jameis Winston my whole life. And the Giants are one of my favorite teams this season. So I low-key smiled when this occurred. How sad is that? That's supposed to be my team. I'm never supposed to smile when something like this happens. But when Jameis did this to us, I was like, shit, that was awesome. Damn. Dude, literally, Jameis put up one hell of a performance. It was an incredible game. But if I'm really going to be real, this is kind of it's nice to see the Lions getting back to being the Lions. This is our problem, though. In our own stadium, in perfect weather, look who's back and alive and playing good football. Jared Goff plays well. Amon-Ra St. Brown plays well. 9 receptions, 150 yards, and a touchdown is crazy. Also, you guys called me check down merchant, bro. Jahmyr Gibbs had 11 receptions. That's crazy. Overall, it was an insane game. It's crazy that we came back and won it. It concerns me for the playoffs. I think we're going to make the playoffs. I'm concerned that our defense is so exploitable. I think teams are excited to play the Detroit Lions, at least offensively. I don't think they're excited to play us because we are a good team. But, dude, if it's bad weather and you have a good defense, I just think we're going to lose. I hate feeling that way. I want to feel like we can win every game. Delusionally, I think we're going to the Super Bowl. But this was a very concerning game for me to watch. We shouldn't be having this much trouble. Crazy enough, we have now only talked about one of 3 overtime games. Let's talk about one of the next best games of this slate. Indianapolis Colts, Kansas City Chiefs. The Colts have been alongside pretty much the Rams as the true powerhouse team. I feel like those are 1 and 2 in the power rankings, at least in my head. We knew this was going to be a great game. If I'm going to be honest, dude, the Colts choked this game away. They had a massive lead in this game. They never should have been in this position, and they put up the most pitiful second half performance, and the Chiefs come back and win it. And that's not taken away from the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the second half, I think they had 210 yards of offense to Indianapolis's 18. That's disgusting. I'm sure I'm off by a little bit there, but it's something that you don't want to see as a Colts fan. But at the end of the day, you just put up an incredibly serious performance against one of the best dynasties of the last 8 years. I still think the Colts are an amazing team. I just think they choked this. This game kind of came down to, hey, we're experienced in these late close games, and we close out games like this all the time. We've been doing it for 8 straight years. Indianapolis Colts do not have that kind of experience, and that's why they lost this game. This game, more than any game, felt like a playoff game. This is what the NFL playoffs are going to look like. They're going to look games just like this, and the Kansas City Chiefs win it in overtime with a field goal, but to have that big of a lead, to be very able to win this game and not win it has to be very frustrating. It's not like anybody played bad. This just, to me, it literally was a playoff game. The only other thing I have to say about Colts Chiefs is Tony Romo pisses me off so fucking much. He literally, I swear to God, he bets on the Chiefs or something. This dude won't shut the fuck up the entire game about the exact same shit the whole time. It's so, dude, I feel like my dad. This is a fun story, but whenever my dad turns on a football game, more than half the time he just hits mute. He turns that thing on, he starts to hear like Collinsworth's voice or Romo's voice, mute. And I'm like, Dad, you're so old, bro. That's crazy. Like, you want to sit here in silence and watch this game? But dude, when I was watching this game, I was like, damn, I'm about to turn on Spotify and listen to this thing with no audio because Romo's pissing me off bad. I don't know if I'm just a hater. I probably am just a hater, so take that with a grain of salt, but dude, he's so fucking annoying. Only for Chiefs games, by the way. I actually kind of like Romo as a commentator, but when it's a Chiefs game, it's just like, okay, dude, we fucking get it. Shut up. Jacksonville Jaguars, Arizona Cardinals, the third overtime game of this sweep. Big shocker here. Arizona loses another very close game. Yeah, I think the Arizona Cardinals are one of the funniest teams in the NFL right now because the Arizona Cardinals could realistically have a 7-4 record or yeah, a 7-4 record, but they just lose every close game. If it's going to overtime, if you really need to score at the end, they are not getting it done. Once again, though, I think they're outperforming how shit this team is. I mean, this team is close to the Tennessee Titans in terms of low level of talent that's actually available right now. Jacoby Brissett's trying to do this with who exactly? Michael Wilson? I mean, Trey McBride's nice. Greg Dortch, Michael Carter, Zonovan Knight. You don't even know this guy's name, and neither do I. X. Weaver? It's got to be Xavier, right? I got to imagine. That's my best guess. Let's see. Okay. Well, it's an X name. I mean, how many X names are actually out there? I think this is Joseph DeGuara. Am I correct on this one, too? Josiah DeGuara. This team is ass. And they get a bunch of close games. I would say you're a franchise quarterback away from being good, but that's kind of what I thought Kyler Murray was. I don't know what's going on in Arizona. They have really got to turn things around if they ever want to relive those Larry Fitzgerald days. You know what I'm talking about. Jaguars. This is such a fucking Trevor Lawrence game. Trevor Lawrence is the least hated mid quarterback ever. It's crazy. Trevor Lawrence has been allowed to be mid his whole career and nobody ever dogpiles on him. He always gets positive. I don't know how that is or why, but gosh, can you imagine if Trevor Lawrence played in like New York? Can you imagine he played for the Giants or something? Dude, this guy would already be out of the league for how bad they would shit on him. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but they came up and win the game in overtime. I think my favorite guy out of here was Brenton Strange. Solid. No touchdowns yet on the season. And then I still think that the Jaguars getting Jacoby Myers was a really good play for them. I am talking a lot of shit, but both these teams are missing a lot of players. Like the Jaguars are missing Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. The Arizona Cardinals are missing Kyler Murray. They're missing James Conner. I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. was in either. I don't know when any of these guys are coming back, but this to me was a mid-off. I think the Jaguars have an inflated record, and I don't think the Jaguars are that good. We'll see. I'm happy to be wrong. I don't think they're that good. Oh my God, wait a minute. This is the best. Dude, and this story too, this story from this week was amazing. Shedeur Sanders in his first actual start, absolutely cooked. I'm being YouTuber-ish. He had an incredible game against the Raiders for a 5th-round draft pick. Absolutely, dude. This pass was so good. Dude, I'm playing Glazer tag. I don't care. This shit is crazy. I'll give him the keys to the Glaze Mobile because I'm driving. Dude, rolling on the right, absolute heave, 60-yard dot. If Isaiah Bond wasn't a fraud, this is Shedeur Sanders' first passing touchdown in the NFL.
At the 10-yard line.
I mean, that's probably not true. He tracked down the ball really well, and realistically, he wasn't expected to score that. But how cool would it have been if that was Shedeur Sanders' first passing touchdown? Let's take everything into consideration in this game, though. If we're gonna glaze Shedeur Sanders, number one, this throw absolutely incredible. Number two, most quarterbacks in Cleveland suck ass because Cleveland is a shitty organization that has failed many talented quarterbacks. Number three, Shedeur Sanders was only a 5th-round draft pick. Number four, the Raiders are ass. So taking all that into account, I think he played a really good game. And I think most importantly, he significantly outperformed what you would expect from a 5th-round draft pick. Now, the whole Shedeur Sanders saga, let's track this thing all the way back. He plays at Colorado with his NFL Hall of Fame dad. Everyone hypes the shit out of him, glazes him like he's round one, pick one, and he falls and falls and falls and falls. And then everyone's like, oh my God, what happened? Were we all tricked by the media? Was he never good in the first place? What is the deal here with Shedeur Sanders? To be honest with you, I have no idea. I have no idea what the reality is with Shedeur Sanders, but I know this. If you draft a quarterback in the 5th round, that is such a low investment, such an insanely low investment. The Cleveland Browns were able to take multiple players way higher. They extracted value out of the Travis Hunter pick that they traded to the Jaguars. They ended up getting Mason Graham out of the University of Michigan. And then they had a 2nd-round pick and a 3rd-round pick and a Dylan Gabriel pick. And then they took Shedeur as basically a throwaway. And this is what your throwaway pick did. Your throwaway 5th-round quarterback just led you to a win in his first official start. And he chucked the laser beam. That's a bomb.
He's got a man.
That's an incredible throw. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Shedeur Sanders is the next coming of Christ. He's going to save the Cleveland Browns organization. But take Shedeur Sanders out of his name. Just he's Joe Schmo, dude. This is Jake Fromm. This is Kyle Trask, right? A 5th-round pick, rookie quarterback doing that's pretty fucking lit, dude. That's pretty sick. But you do got to remind yourself, no matter what you say, you got to remind yourself the Las Vegas Raiders are ass. They're so ass. So it's exciting Shedeur gets the win, and I think he really did play a solid game. Like, it's not anything insane. 11 for 20, a touchdown and an interception. Geno Smith and the Raiders throwing 44 passes. Honestly, I think the only person that truly should get giga hyped up, though, is Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins was such a good draft pick for them. Quinshon Judkins is, to me, he's the future RB1 for the Cleveland Browns for the next 5 years, barring injury. I mean, that's true of anybody barring injury, but Quinshon Judkins has been nasty, dude. They pulled out a Wildcat touchdown. I think the other big takeaway from this game, Myles Garrett is on pace to break the record. Myles Garrett is on pace to break the single-season sack record. I think he's currently sitting on 15. And he had another 3 in this game. Sorry, I can't find it right now, but there it is. Myles Garrett, 3 sacks. Yeah. He could get the record, dude. I think that's so exciting to see. We've been waiting for someone to break. Oh my God, he's 18? Holy shit. I do think one thing that is definitely true is that like sacks are kind of they're a silly metric. Sacks to me are a lot like interceptions for DBs. Just because a DB has a bunch of interceptions doesn't make them a good DB. A lot of times an interception, like Darrelle Revis in his prime wasn't getting a lot of interceptions, if any, in seasons because nobody fucking threw to him because he's clamping the shit out of your best wide receiver. So they just don't look at you. If you're on Revis Island, you don't throw there. It's a lot like another island. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even have put that in the video, and then I'm not going to edit it out because I'm a stupid monkey. Where are we? Where are we? Let's keep talking about these games. Okay, Giants-Lions, we covered it. Chiefs-Colts, we covered it. Great game. That's what playoff games are going to look like, I'm hoping. Pittsburgh Steelers, Chicago Bears. Holy shit. Does Ben Johnson have a legitimate shot at Coach of the Year? Shane Steichen, I think, was right at the top of Coach of the Year. He lost that big game. They win this big game. They've still got to do a lot more, but Ben Johnson is on his way. This was a really big win for the Chicago Bears. And I've been talking my shit. I said the Chicago Bears were going to lose their spot in the NFC North. They haven't lost their spot in the NFC North yet. For everyone like coming in my comments and talking shit to me about the Chicago Bears, for the record, before the season started, This was one of my favorite teams. Like, I was such a glazer. Also, for the record, I glazed the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not telling you I know ball. I'm just telling you I was defending your team. I've always liked Caleb Williams. I've always believed in Caleb Williams. And yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers had Mason Rudolph, so yes, they were ass, but a great win for the Chicago Bears. And before I finish talking about that, I kind of do want to see the stats on that game. I'm going to bounce around a little bit here because sometimes I get sidetracked. You guys know this is an Yap session, but this is my second channel. If you don't like it, you can go watch who? Who are you going to go fucking watch, bro? Who are you going to go watch? I have a monopoly on this shit. Nobody's racist like me. Nobody doesn't give a shit. Nobody hates women like me. You're stuck here. Okay. Chicago Bears, Pittsburgh Steelers. Caleb Williams, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. They talked a lot of shit about Caleb Williams. Odunze, 3 for 53. DJ Moore, 5 receptions, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Colston Loveland, getting that rookie tight end some reps. I like the rookies in Chicago. Loveland and Luther Burden, both looking really, really solid. And then Kyle Monangai. Kyle Monangai has been very nice. Was he... I was wondering if DeAndre Swift was injured, but no, it kind of looks like Kyle Monangai is just taking over the backfield over there. DeAndre Swift gained just 15 yards on 8 carries. New York Jets, Baltimore Ravens. The resurgence of the Ravens continues. Is that a 4-game win streak for the Baltimore Ravens? They were 2-5. Lamar comes back, instantly win their next 4 games. This game was completely slept on and almost not covered at all for a lot of reasons. Number one, nobody in the right mind wants to watch a Jets game. It is legitimately pitiful to watch this team. Unfortunately, that's just the case. Zay Flowers looked good. I enjoyed this game. It just got swept under the rug because there were so many good games. So if you really wanted me to cover this game, I'm so sorry. Baltimore is doing exactly what we predicted. Baltimore Ravens, it was like, yeah, they're 2-5, but also like when Lamar comes back, this is one of the best teams in the National Football League. And I think one thing we got to remember, I feel like for some reason, Baltimore is really not being talked about, and they are such a serious contender. It really is just because of the record, because without Lamar, they were so bad, but a Baltimore Ravens team with Lamar Jackson is an absolute playoff contender, and they just aren't getting talked about. So I think we got to keep that in the back of our mind when we're talking about powerhouse teams. I think there's only one team in the NFL who is the clear, absolute standout best team, and we'll get to that team later. And it's not the New England Patriots, although I think the Patriots are very good. Drake May with another W. This game, I will say, it reminded me a lot of the same game that I watched with my Detroit Lions, where if you're a Patriots fan, yes, you did just get this win. Yes, the Patriots are 10-2, and that's awesome, but why was this game such a struggle? It just feels like another one of those games where you're like, wait a minute, aren't we supposed to be really good? Why are we struggling with the Joe Flacco 3-8 Cincinnati Bengals? Why are we struggling with the Cincinnati Bengals that don't have Jamar Chase and don't have T. Higgins? Jamar Chase suspended for this game for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. T. Higgins was ruled out. Supposedly, Joe Burrow comes back for Week 13. That is what they're saying. The streets are saying Joe Burrow is back for Week 13. But Patriots are a powerhouse team. Any given Sunday, any team can play bad. But I was watching this Patriots game like, why is this game so close? This game has no business being this close. The spread was New England by 8. Cincinnati kept it relatively close, and they stayed under. It's an impressive game for Cincinnati despite losing. And the Patriots are still a really good team. I hate to be a hater. I just cannot see this New England Patriots team making a deep playoff push. And that is not me shitting on anybody on this Patriots team. I think they're just significantly outperforming what they should be doing. And I think that will wear off in the playoffs. They are a fraudulent 10-2 team to me. I think Drake May is good, but not quite there. I think this defense is lacking top-end talent to win in the playoffs. I think it's lacking top-end talent on offense, too. How the hell is Hunter Henry going for 115 yards? Diggs post-injury has been amazing. This team is just, they're scaring me. You know what it reminds me a lot of, actually, and I hate to say this, it reminds me of the NFC North last season. The NFC North last season, dude, you got the Packers, you got the Lions, you got the Vikings. All three of us lost our first playoff game, and we were fucking booted from the playoffs, and all the real players started to play, and then guess who? It's Philadelphia and Kansas City for the Super Bowl. I cannot see the Patriots. I can't see the Patriots making it to the AFC Championship. I don't care that they're 10-2. I just can't see it, and I'm sorry. And you can be mad at me, but that's just how I feel. Seattle Seahawks, Tennessee Titans. This was the week of good teams playing down to their opponent's level. Tennessee Titans are so ass. Tennessee Titans are the worst team in football right now. I think there should be a poop bowl the day before the Super Bowl, or maybe a week before. There should be a pooper bowl, and it should be the New York Jets versus the Titans, or, you know, every year it should be the two shittiest teams get to duke it out, and whoever wins gets the first round draft pick. Anti-tank mechanism. Wait a minute. This is a genius thought that just popped in my head. I'm a fucking genius. You know how like teams will tank for the higher draft pick? You know, it kind of felt like the New York Giants were tanking when they lost that game against us, because it felt like, how the hell did they lose that game? What if instead it's like, okay, you two are in contention for the first round pick, but rather than tanking, you now need to win. So you need to fight your heart out right now. And whoever wins, then you get the first round pick. Now we're talking, man. Wait a minute. Just kidding. Nobody would want to watch that shit. Actually, it would be kind of fucking awesome to watch the Titans and the Jets fight with like life or death on the line. What am I talking about? Seattle Seahawks win again. Seattle Seahawks, ever since last week, gosh, they got exposed. Jackson Smith and Jigba, hello. 8 receptions, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Remember when I said Jackson Smith and Jigba doesn't really have a chance for Offensive Player of the Year because Jonathan Taylor's going to win it? Well, shit. Well, shit. This guy's unfreaking believable, dude. Against the Tennessee Titans, sure. Let's talk all the shit we want about against the Tennessee Titans. But Jackson Smith and Jigba, the real deal. Gunnar Helm, lead receiver for the Tennessee Titans. Gunnar Helm also on my Wheel of Mutt team. So, I'm sorry, Titans fans. I'm trying so fucking hard, dude. Joey Chestnut's out there. You got Joey Chestnut getting 2 fucking attempts for 3 yards. That guy, his team is so ass. Joey fucking Chestnut. You know who's ass? Speaking of, JJ McCarthy. I love to be right because I'm right so rarely. I have been saying for so long that JJ McCarthy is not good. And JJ McCarthy looked like shit. Okay. He's a young quarterback. He hasn't got that many reps. Do you give up on J.J. McCarthy if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan? Absolutely not. You got to let the kid develop. And these are some really tough games. But wow, J.J. McCarthy has been like spectacularly bad. Let me put this in another sense. Yes, people are shitting on J.J. McCarthy, but can you imagine what it would be like if Shedeur Sanders put up this stat line? Shedeur Sanders put up a significantly better stat line and played better, and people are still like, oh, it was against the Raiders. Oh, Shedeur's not, oh, this, oh, that, bro. Can we just bring that same energy to J.J. McCarthy playing like absolute shit? Maybe? People told me the Vikings were going to be good this year. Oh my God, you're hilarious. Green Bay Packers, nice W. Yes, also the Packers have a top 5 defense in the NFL, and McCarthy's. I feel like that was so rude, actually. I just shit on this man, and I didn't mean it that way. What I really am saying is he's not ready, and there was no way that the Minnesota Vikings were going to go from a Sam Darnold almost MVP caliber season into another good season with their quarterback who hasn't played yet and is like 22 years old. It just was not going to happen. And it's being proven right now, especially in the NFC North. And the NFC North is very difficult. NFC North is just a really strong division right now. Falcons, Saints, ugly ass game. Kirk Cousins kind of like laid a safety out. This was a funny game to watch. So Tyler Shuck, this was the other story that's just like now not being talked about. Tyler Shuck shot up the draft boards and the Saints take him high in the 2nd round. It's genuinely very funny to watch. Outside of Jackson Dart, who has been really, really good, right? Like, everybody passes on Shedeur. Tennessee Titans take Cam Ward, round 1, pick 1. Tyler Shuck gets taken. Dylan Gabriel gets taken. All these quarterbacks get taken, not named Shedeur Sanders, and I feel like all of them have kind of sucked, not named Jackson Dart. None of them are in good positions. Like, being on the Tennessee Titans, anyone's going to suck ass. But what are you going to tell me the Cleveland Browns are? You're going to tell me this is where all quarterbacks go to thrive? You're going to tell me Shedeur Sanders is a system quarterback in the Cleveland Browns system? Nobody's like, Tom Brady couldn't thrive in the fucking Cleveland Browns system. All I'm saying, okay, I'm glazing. I'm actually playing, I'm glazing. I'm fucking glazing. I'm sorry. I'm glazing Shedeur Sanders, but wow, I'm just so happy for him. He has been shit on so much, and I'm so happy for him. Okay, where do we go from here? Buccaneers versus Rams. I think there's two big takeaways. Number one, the best team in the NFL right now is Los Angeles Rams, and it ain't close. Holy shit, the Rams are so good. Sean McVay is putting on a masterclass. Matthew Stafford is playing better than he's ever played. He's aging like wine. He's legitimate. Dude, he's 100% the MVP frontrunner right now. He's playing some of the best football I've ever seen Matthew Stafford play, and I saw him straight out of Georgia, straight on to the Lions with Calvin Johnson for like 10 years. He's playing out of his mind. This team is complete at all levels. Puka Nacua is an incredibly elite wide receiver. Devontae Adams is going to the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best of all time, and he's still really, really good. The play calling is excellent. The defensive schemes and the defensive play calling is excellent. This is a complete football team. I am most scared of the Los Angeles Rams more than any other team. I'd rather see the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship as a Lions fan than see the Los Angeles Rams. The only good thing that we have against the Los Angeles Rams is we beat them in the playoffs last time we saw them. So maybe we can just like resurrect that magic. But this is a scary ass team. And also, I hate to admit it, but there's a decent chance with the way records are looking right now that we would have to play the Los Angeles. If we can make the playoffs, I think we're going to be a relatively low seed, and the Rams are on trajectory to be a high seed. This would be the shittiest. Whoever plays the Rams first round in the playoffs, I feel very bad for. Also, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that was the second thing. This team has cooled off so much, it's unbelievable. Baker got hurt and is out. Frankly, he wasn't playing good before that. Cade Otton fumbled a pass directly into Kobe Durant's hands for a pick six. The Buccaneers just cooled off like crazy. Buccaneers were like, it was the start of the season. It was like, oh my God, Tampa Bay. And they just full-blown cooled off, and it wasn't even close. But the Rams look really good. I always forget about Thursday Night Football, so let's not hear. Josh Allen, what are we doing? Houston Texans have been impressively, like, resurging. I remember, like, not even a couple weeks ago where I was like, what, dude, the Texans are ass. You know what's hilarious? Ever since Davis Mills came in, the Houston Texans have been significantly better. Is there something wrong with that? Isn't there something so wrong with that? Or maybe so right about that? But you got CJ Stroud and, dude, Jaquavius Marks. Jaquavius Marks going for 74 yards. This is supposed to be the Buffalo Bills? This is supposed to be MVP frontrunner Josh Allen? It's crazy as we get closer to the playoffs here to really see the very elite teams emerge. And going into the season, if you were to tell me that there's only two elite teams and it was the Indianapolis Colts, Los Angeles Rams, I probably would laugh in your face. But that's kind of what it is right now. That's kind of what it is right now. I think Kansas City still can put on a very serious run. I think Philadelphia Eagles can still put on a serious run. But guess who? Guess who absolutely giga choked the game too? Eagles, Cowboys. Dude, I turned this game off. I turned this game off because it was 21-0, and I was like, yeah, Dallas's ass. Dallas's defense gets ran through, and Philadelphia's, they just won the Super Bowl. It's an incredible team. Dallas came back and beat them. It was literally 21-0. That is a division rivalry. This is like Dallas's Super Bowl. I can't believe they did this. There's so many good takeaways from this game. Hey, A.J. Brown got his receiving touchdown. Hello. Was that so hard? Was it so hard to throw the ball to A.J. Brown? I guess it was. 8 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Everybody so badly wanted to see A.J. Brown get traded or something because he was bitching. Guess what? A.J. Brown's still super good at football, and he's just a wide receiver who wants the ball more, and he's expressing that. Every single NFL wide receiver on every single team thinks that. They just probably aren't as vocal as A.J. Brown, and they also don't have Philadelphia's media, which is a bunch of sickos. So, yeah. Same thing with the Giants. If you're a player for the New York Giants or the Philadelphia Eagles, you're going to get more media coverage than anybody's ever going to get because the people who live there and think about football are sickos. I'm not kidding. And that's why you hear so much about A.J. Brown and this diva shit, bro. Every wide receiver feels the way A.J. Brown does. He's still super fucking good at football. The bigger story, though, is the fact that the Dallas Cowboys, like, they're actually so good. I think this Cowboys team is so good. They really are. It's just the defensive play calling is bad. Jerry Jones mismanaged the shit out of this Micah Parsons thing. It's fucking Micah Parsons. How do you let one of the best defensive players of the last 10 years walk? Javonte Williams, who like a lot of people consider to be washed, has had an excellent resurgence of his career in Dallas. George Pickens, locker room cancer George Pickens, who apparently Pittsburgh Steelers just couldn't stand, is so good. 9 receptions, 146 yards, and a touchdown. That was a fleece with how well he's been playing. CD Lamb, it's like this is a crazy wide receiver duo. They keep this up, they'll be the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. Dude, George Pickens, CD Lamb will have contention with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I used to think Jamar Chase, T. Higgins were untouchable, but I swear to God, dude, these two can do it. Great game for the Dallas Cowboys. They've just lost too many winnable games previous in the season for them to realistically have a playoff shot here. Can they make it? Technically, yes. I don't think they will. But, shit. I really like this team. There's a lot of teams in the NFL this year that I genuinely really like, and I just, like, feel bad for. And the Dallas Cowboys are one of them. The New York Giants are another. I'll have to probably keep thinking about it. But let's watch a few highlights from these games. Ashton Genty, let's give a Raiders highlight. I literally talk so much shit about the Raiders.
Close to midfield.
It is really funny, though, when a team drafts a running back so high because you get why they don't anymore. It's like, what kind of value can a running back really give to this team, even if they're as good as Ashton Genty? And I feel like that's how Raiders games are. You watch a Raiders game and you're like, well, this team's horrible, but hey, that Genty kid's pretty good. And then they lose. And it's like, well, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done if I was in the Raiders' shoes. I think if Ashton Genty's available, I do want to draft him. So I get it. But it's fun to watch a Genty clip, but then also you got to be like, wow, well, they just lost to the Shedeur Sanders Browns. So what do I say about this? Oh my God, I didn't see this. Little Devonta Smith catch.
Going deep.
They say Jalen Hurts can't throw, by the way. Yeah, that wasn't the best ball.
Gets it.
Shit. Hey, it was caught. Dude, Devonta Smith is so good at football. Reed Blankenship. Seen all these Eagles highlights. I don't feel like the Cowboys want it. I don't know. Triple team Micah Parsons is genuinely hilarious
on the entire team.
That's actually crazy.
So it starts
that's
Brian O'Neill.
That's actually crazy. I'd be so pissed off if I was Mike. It's the kind of shit that Aaron Donald dealt with every single game ever.
The back gets involved. They said, listen.
That would piss me off so bad. Oh my God. I can't even imagine because this is so not my life experience that I can't imagine, but that would be. Yeah, we were talking about this before, but Micah Parsons, 18 sacks through 12.
Again.
Sorry, did I just call him Micah Parsons? I have dementia. Myles Garrett, 18 sacks through 12 weeks. Myles is finally playing better than TJ Watt. Now he deserves this year's defensive program. Sucks, man. How did you turn this into an opportunity to hate on Myles Garrett and compare him to TJ Watt? Yeah, he should be breaking the record, though. I don't see how he does not break the record. He would have to seriously mess up these next 5 weeks or get in. Knock on wood. This was crazy. This was crazy, bro. This was crazy, crazy, crazy. Baker Mayfield throws this ball to Cade Otton. Cade Otton, who doesn't wear gloves, by the way, bobbles the shit out of this. It's like hot potato bobbles. Bobbles it forward, tries to catch it again. Finally, actually sort of gets his hands on this football. But the second he kind of sort of gets it, Kobe Durant's in there kind of fucking with it too. And then he just took it from him. And then he houses it. Nasty play. Absolutely nasty play. This is one of those plays where there's always some fraud.
Well, actually, Cade Otton had possession of the football and was down, so shouldn't he have been called down?
This pisses me off so much. hey, if your tight end just caught the damn football, we don't even have to discuss the semantics of this. But as I watched this in live, it was very clear Cade Otton never had the football. He was bobbling the shit the entire time. And then Kobe Durant's in there bobbling the football, and then Kobe Durant comes away with it. The idea that there are fans out there who are like, we should take this away from Kobe Durant because technically, shut up, bro. The dude dropped the football and Durant made an awesome play, and I think it played out exactly as it should have been. And I'm arguing with comments that don't exist because I'm delusional as fuck. Although this I agree with. This type of BS play should be counted as a fumble, not an interception. Cut that NPC out of the team right now. Shake, man, how are you going to jiggle the ball like that? Okay. Isn't it crazy, though, that Baker Mayfield now has a pick six? And in Baker Mayfield's career stats, it's an interception. And Baker Mayfield was picked off. Now the team's going to lose the game because Cade Otton couldn't catch a pass and is dead in his chest. That is why it's the same thing I was just talking about earlier with like sacks aren't as important of a metric as you think. Interceptions aren't as important a metric as you think. And throwing interceptions is not as important of a metric as you think. And that's why sometimes people are like, box score merchant. You're a box score merchant. You just looked at the box score. Because if you looked at the box score of this game, you'd be like, Baker Mayfield's ass, bro. He's so trash. Younghoe Koo's on the Giants now, by the way. I'm sure you might have found that out from this game. But yeah, he got cut by the Falcons, and then Koo's here. Nahshon Wright. This is a super sleeper. This is another one of those guys who just legitimately does not get talked about. Doesn't get talked about at all. Now, yes, you're Mason Rudolph, so you're ass, but that shit's on DK Metcalf, bro. That shit's on the most physical, biggest wide receiver in the league. It's an absolutely insane interception. It's like the second week in a row he's done some wicked-ass interception.
But he was out of bounds. I don't know. We got one ref.
He got two in. That was an insane play. The only game that's left here is Carolina Panthers at San Francisco 49ers. Actually kind of excited for this game. I do think San Fran has a pretty serious edge and most likely does win this game, but I would love to see the Panthers. Actually, no, I'm not saying that stupid shit. Panthers win this game. I want to see Bryce Young and the Panthers take home this W in San Fran and move to 7-5. That's what I'd like to see. I can't imagine that this Niners team is 8-4, but I also can't imagine that this Panthers team is 7-5. So I don't think my brain can really compute this game. That's it for Week 12, gentlemen. Lions own your poverty franchise. Shedeur Sanders owns your poverty franchise. Trevor Lawrence owns your poverty franchise. Drake May owns your poverty franchise. Josh Allen does not own your poverty franchise. Tony Romo owns my poverty franchise. He lives rent-free in my fucking head. He's got 3,000 square feet. All right, hey, I love you guys. You're so awesome. You're so handsome. Have an amazing day. Peace.